What's up, guys? Welcome once again to the Save Continue Newscast. My name is Ryan Robinson. This here's Tom Shelby.
Hello.
This here's Shanae Howard.
Hi.
Every week we get together with news stories from the previous week that we thought were interesting and wanted to share with you guys. This week we have stories from the week of September 10th through September 16th, 2017. Tom, what's been going on?
So it's been a real busy week for gaming news. I feel like this episode's probably going to be one of our longest. Let's get into the dumb shit first. PewDiePie, Sunday after we got done recording, dropped the N-word while playing PUBG. Mm-hmm. And everybody was in a frenzy about it, right?
Yeah.
Camposanto then issues a DMCA takedown of any Firewatch videos he has, of which he had 3, with many, many, many views.
Yeah.
I think good on them for doing so. For those that listen to this show, which is most of you don't watch this show. The games industry is heavily, is predominantly white males, which I have no problem with. For those that don't know, I'm an Asian male. Ryan's a black man. We also have Shanae, who is a black man.
I was gonna say, I'm not human. Don't put me in that category.
Yeah, it's despicable. If you like PewDiePie and you're still supporting him after this, don't listen to us. We don't want you here.
I agree with that sentiment. I feel like the whole thing comes down to, I think, recognizing that, your dude is problematic. There's been, what I keep seeing is it's not a big deal. He said it in the heat of the moment. Fuck that.
Yeah.
That word, there is never a reason to use that word.
Sure.
And if you're going to tell me that the only reason that you used it was because you were angry, fuck that.
Yeah.
So, the whole thing about it is that this happened 6 months after another controversy.
Yeah, after the whole anti-Semitic thing.
Right.
I don't know if either of you watched his apology video.
I did.
Yeah.
Which sickens me because we're putting in money in his pocket. That apology video is monetized.
Oh, I didn't watch his actual video.
Yeah.
I watched a stream of it, so none of.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing. But I guess my only statement about it is, I guess that's one way to apologize for sure, is to say there's no excuse. It seems like you've not learned anything, and I agree with those statements, and which is why I didn't really watch his videos before, but I'm still not going to now. I'm not gonna there's times in the past where little kids are my nephew's aged, or looking for stuff to watch. I'm like, oh, I know my nephews watch that.
Right.
I'm never gonna suggest it, but I definitely I agree with the things he said. There's no excuse for what he said.
And that's,
it is like he learned nothing, and he's admitting that.
Right. We were talking about it, Ryan and I, earlier, and he does seem sorry in his apology video. I think he's sorry for the wrong reasons. I don't think he's sorry for what he did. I think he's sorry that he's in trouble now.
I'm just admitting. I'm just agreeing with what he admitted.
Yeah.
There is no apology, and it is like he learned nothing.
And much to your point, Shanae, a large part of his audience is children, and he's telling them that this language is okay, by using this kind of language, and that's not okay. As far as Camposanto is concerned, there's been a big backlash on them. A lot of people disagree with what they're doing. A lot of people are scared that, if they can do this, any publisher or developer can do this, and it's gonna start the steamroll effect. You're crazy. Anybody who thinks that, you're fucking nuts. Developers and publishers, and this is in Camposanto's post about this, profit off of you guys making these Let's Plays, us making these YouTube videos. It would be dumb of them to do so. Camposanto doing it because of what they believe in. I think I applaud them for that.
Yeah.
People make the argument that, well, he didn't do it while playing their game. No, but their game has 3 videos on his channel that made him a fuck ton of money.
And his last controversy about anti-Semitism, and in that situation, there was some points where I felt that was kind of taken out of context, but nonetheless, it still happened. He
still paid people to hold that sign.
Yeah.
But during that time, there was a lot of like ad controversies and people pulling their ads from a lot of videos.
Yeah. I would.
And like this is just more of the same thing.
Sure, and
on a different
everybody
scale.
arguing fair use, you don't understand fair use. Fair use is not something that just means you get to use what you want. Fair use is only used as a defense in court. So good on them.
And to the point, like when people were saying, he didn't say it while playing Firewatch. Like, okay, I still don't want a fucking bigot monetizing off of my work.
Right.
And to a larger point, like he did it while playing PUBG.
Yeah.
So
When we talked about this too, that is one strike, right? He did get a strike from that. YouTube gives you 3 strikes.
Yeah.
So really only 2 more developers or 2 more publishers need to do this, and he'd be gone.
Yeah.
And I hope that they do. We're going to move on from this now, but like I said, if you listen to him, if you watch him, and you still do after this, we don't want you here.
just consider the fact that dude is a bad person.
Yeah. Now something a bit more uplifting. Okay. Humble this week reached a very big milestone. They've made now $100 million for charity.
That's huge.
Yeah.
It's
so
really huge.
Good on them. Support that site. I buy a lot of games there, even if they're games I'm not super psyched on because of where the money is going.
Right.
And I think that's an important thing that a lot of us can do.
Pay what you want. Give that money to the kids.
Some more good news. Dude Dang, who is a professional Street Fighter player, recently won one stop of the Capcom tour and gave all of his earnings to Irma Relief. So good on him.
That's very cool.
And he is from Tampa, but it's still good. Good on him.
Yeah, repping his set, dude.
Yeah. Switch news. Wonder Boy and Dragon's Trap, as well as Oceanhorn, both reported this week that their games sold better on the Switch than they had on every other platform combined, which I think is especially interesting for Oceanhorn, because Oceanhorn is a game that has been out for years.
Yeah.
And only recently came to Switch.
Yeah.
So good to see that doing well. I guess we can talk about the Nintendo Direct along with this Switch news. So Nintendo had one of their larger directs in quite a while recently. I was pretty impressed with it. Ryan just watched it. I think it is more substantial than most of their E3 presentations. Some Pokemon news, which is exciting, some Kirby games. Really good to see some heavy third-party support, whether it's Rockstar with LA Noire, Bethesda with Doom and Wolfenstein, 2K with all the sports games. It seems like third parties are there. Yeah. Not to mention there are a lot of third-party exclusive games, which I think is important.
I wish they would have shown Wolfenstein gameplay, though.
Sure.
Yeah.
They showed us a tremendous amount of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Shanae, so I'm not sure if you watched it, but you might want to.
That's a good 20 minutes, right?
Yeah, they probably showed just as much Xenoblade Chronicles 2 as they did Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
And it really gives you an idea of what that game is, and it seems like they're actually trying to push that franchise, which that franchise does deserve.
Actually, I feel
that
like...
franchise fucking is amazing. I love it. Oh man.
I feel like in the section, the Xenoblade section, they pretty much just tell you exactly what that game is.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good way to know exactly what you're getting into.
Let's continue on. Let's go through all the Nintendo news. So they've announced that the NES Classic will be back in production sometime next year. I think they said next summer, I believe.
Thank you, Immortan Reggie.
Yeah. As well as the SNES Classic, they will extend sales on that. So that's cool if you're looking to get into that stuff. A modder has come up with Super Mario 64 Online, which is pretty fucking cool. 24-player Super Mario 64.
That's really neat.
And you can play as Waluigi, so that's awesome.
I mean, that's a reason to play it right there.
Sure. Dragon's
Crown.
Crown.
One step closer to his own game.
Mm-hmm.
Dragon's Crown from Vanillaware, fantastic game, is getting ported to PlayStation 4. It is also getting a manga, which is pretty neat. PUBG has banned 150,000 cheaters this week.
Insane.
And a lot of people were bitching about it, and I say, you know what? If you're a cheater, fuck you. It's fine. Yeah. Let them ban them. I don't want to. Why would you want to play with those people?
I am already bad as it is.
Yeah.
Let's not make this worse for me.
Sure. This is actually going a lot faster than I thought, so this is good. During the Apple conference this week, Genova Chen came out and introduced Sky, the game that they put up teaser images for months and months ago.
Yeah.
A couple of interesting things here. One, their 3-game deal with Sony has ended, so now this is releasing exclusively on Apple products. I imagine it will come to Android and console later on down the road. It looks awesome. I don't think anybody's surprised by that. And I'm excited to play it, even if it's going to be on my Apple TV.
How alike is it to Journey.
I mean, I think visually there are similarities there, but they talk about like the world changing each time you come into play and all that. Also, there's more characters to interact with, whereas with Journey you're interacting with literally one other character at a time.
Yeah.
It looks neat.
Yeah.
Bruce Straley has left Naughty Dog.
Yeah. So,
Bye, Bruce.
because we were talking about whether or not he would come back in time from his sabbatical to have some input.
Yeah.
On The Last of Us 2.
Yeah, he announced that sabbatical when that game got announced.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting him to announce his departure though.
Yeah, he's been there for a long time.
Sure.
If you read his statement on it, he was employee number 15 at Naughty Dog. You know, he started off doing work on Crash Team Racing.
Yeah.
He's
joined in like 2000.
Huge asset to that team. Helped with the writing on Uncharted 2 as well as The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Just a phenomenal writer, and I'm sure he will make something awesome elsewhere, much like Amy Hennig.
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto 5 is now, at least by NPD standards, considered to be the best-selling game of all time. That is most revenue and most units sold.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing.
I know that in the first week of sales, it's broke fastest selling media an opening week, like across like books, movies, video games.
But here's the thing, right? Like, this is what,
Like
4 years
60
later?
I think it was like 65 million
4 years later.
Yeah.
in like the first week.
Yeah, so 4 years later, I mean, it's still charting almost every month.
Yeah.
They put it up in like the 40-something weeks it's been out. It's charted like 40 odd times, which is just fucking nuts.
Sure.
You know, there's things to take into account here for people that are definitively calling it the best-selling game ever. We don't really know that. There's things like Tetris and Minecraft that very well may technically be beating it still.
Sure.
But still,
Especially
that's a really phenomenal feat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I feel like very quickly that game, as far as sales go, like it broke like the $800 million mark.
Yeah.
So that's quite.
And I think we're going to see a lot of inspiration into the next Red Dead because of this.
Sure.
You know?
And I'm wondering, like, because I feel like a lot of the sales that have come from Grand Theft Auto 5 have been largely due to what they're doing with Grand Theft Auto Online.
That's the only reason people buy it now,
Yeah.
right? Or for the most part. But like, I think about it, and it's like, I've bought that game twice.
Sure.
You know?
I bought that because I actually didn't never enjoy any Grand Theft Auto game beforehand. Grand Theft Auto 5 is the first one I enjoyed.
Not even Vice City?
No.
Not even Chinatown Wars?
And it's mainly because of the car racing and how fun that was.
Sure, I think that speaks a lot to the game. What GTA Online did is like, you're not just going on and playing GTA. It's like we can go on and we can go bowl
Golfing.
together,
Yeah.
or golf together, or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And it's very smart.
We can rob convenience stores.
Steven, when he was first moving out to California, I know he would play.
Hi, Steven.
Hi, Steven.
I know
Stevesy.
I know he would do like golfing hangouts with his old roommate.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Sweet Stevesy.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought that would be much longer, but that's all the news I have for the week.
I got some tids.
He has some bits.
Some titty bits. All right. Let's see. All right. So, Okami HD, which got a launch date confirmed for the 12th of December of this year, launching simultaneously in Europe and the U.S.
I'm glad people are excited for it, but this is like the fourth time we've seen that game re-released.
Yeah.
You know.
So it's going to be launching for £16 in England.
$20 here.
Yeah, $20 here, and 20 euros throughout the rest of Europe.
I think the most substantial thing is first time on PC.
Yeah, and also it's going to be releasing on all formats, but the PS4 is actually going to get a physical version.
It's not coming out on Switch, or at least that hasn't been announced yet.
Yeah, you're actually right about that. But yeah, conspicuously, the PS4 only one getting a physical release, so that's cool though.
I mean, it's no like people know that Sony, at least this generation, is in bed with Capcom.
Yeah.
You know, things like Monster Hunter World, Street Fighter V being exclusive, things like that. So yeah, no surprise there.
You guys see this this countdown teaser site that Square Enix has up?
No.
Yeah, it's they launched this like earlier, like very recently they launched this teaser site.
Yeah.
And it's counting down to September 20th. It's for some kind of new iOS and Android project.
That's in just a few days.
Yeah, and it's got like the site. It shows weapons and quotes from different Square Enix titles. No idea what it is, but I'll find out in a few days.
I feel like it's probably the return of Lightning.
Yeah,
She's coming back.
that would be badass. Lightning returns some more.
Yeah.
Lightning returns again.
Got some. I thought this was. This caught my eye. So Telltale Games is naming Pete Hawley as new CEO of the company. He's a former executive at Zynga, and he will be replacing Dan Connors, who is the Telltale co-founder.
We reported on that.
I actually had a quote here that I forgot about, but I wanted to pull it up.
Here's the thing. If you're a company of the tier of Telltale, and you got the guy that was CEO of Zynga coming in, probably going to make you some money. So
Yeah.
that's not a bad idea.
So Hawley says, I've been a huge fan since Telltale reinvented the old LucasArts games. Now it is working with some of the biggest intellectual properties in the world. It was too good an opportunity to pass up.
Correction there. They didn't reinvent any LucasArts games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should write in to tell him that.
I'm
I think he
surprised
should
y'all
have said
didn't
adventure games or something like that,
Yeah.
you know. That's no different than him saying, oh, when they remade the Sierra games.
I've been a big fan ever since they invented video games.
Yeah, yeah. Who was the guy that invented multiplayer only maps?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
I'm surprised y'all didn't mention Doom or Wolfenstein 2 coming to the Switch.
Oh, well, I dropped it very briefly.
Oh,
When we're talking about the
I was talking about third-party support on Switch.
Sorry,
yeah.
sorry. I was just staring at
In your own
Ryan.
world.
I think
how
it's
handsome
phenomenal
he
news.
is.
If
Thank you.
If you were expecting it to look as good as it does on PlayStation or PC or something like that, like you're dumb. It's not going to look that good.
I think just the idea of having those games portable is appealing enough.
Well, and the gameplay we saw of
It didn't look bad.
it looked fine.
Yeah. It looks like Doom, like from the few seconds that we saw. And it looked like it's probably going to be just as fun
Yeah,
as the as the versions we already have. So
absolutely.
So I'm not worried about it. But that's the news that we have for this week, guys. If you have any tips or stories that you want to pass along to us, email us at savecontinuepodcast@gmail.com or drop us a line at our Facebook at Save Continue Podcast. I'm Ryan Robinson. That's Tom Shelby.
Goodbye.
That's Shanae Howard.
Bye, guys.
See you next week.